All right, so today I want to talk about something that happened yesterday. I got my first one-star review from my lawn care company. Now, I've also wondered, is that good? And you're probably wondering why I put good question mark in the title. Well, one thing I've learned this year is I've gotten kind of overwhelmed with everything I've done. I'm a solo operator. I do everything myself. I grew a lot more this year, not really expecting to do that and stuff. So it's kind of interesting. 2 weeks ago, I probably got my best review I've ever gotten. The lady was super nice, talking about I'm always there. I'm there every time on Thursday, every 2 weeks on Thursday, do a great job. She's very happy with it. Sent me a nice tip and everything. So that was really exciting. But in the back of my mind, I knew I was taking care of her well. I know I'm taking care of some others well. And there's some that just, when you get in the brunt of summer, it gets to be a grind and you have to stay on that grind. That's something I've definitely learned, or scale back if it's too much. Don't upset people. Just scale them back and let somebody else take care of them if you have to, so that you can keep everything going well. Well, this lawn I actually picked up about a month ago, and the first time I cut it, I knew there was a problem. It needed to be cut every week. They wanted it bi-weekly. It was very thick, very tall, and from that moment, I knew that lawn wasn't right for me. It's in the area I like and everything, but I knew that moment I should let that lawn go because I wasn't gonna be able to do what I needed to do to get it right. So I was like, well, let's just see what happens. Of course, next time he's like, hey, will you cut it shorter for me? Well, actually, I should cut the backyard shorter. And I was like, sure, no problem. So I cut the backyard shorter. I cut the areas I can cut shorter, but that front yard's still so thick. And after 2 weeks, we're getting rain again here in North Alabama. So it stunk, and the front still didn't look good. The back and stuff looked better, but I knew it wasn't going to be perfect because I'm trying to get it down. When you try to get it down, you go over it 2 or 3 times. You kind of feel it is what it is, and that's really not the right answer. So anyway, of course, he was upset. Some spots were missed. They ended up popping back up, and I went out there to fix it. And he still had his dog open in his back gate, and it was locked. I couldn't get in it, and it's my fault. And that's one thing I've learned this year is communication with customers. And no matter what, communicate with them. So I'll leave that on with another thing here in a second. But after the second time, to go along with communication, I should have communicated to him, hey, couldn't get in your backyard, your dog was there, front yard's still a mess, it's still super tall, not a whole lot I can do with it without a big bagger system, and I'm not going to go buy a $20,000 bagging machine for 1 yard. So I should have just let him know, let the lawn go for free or whatever, which was my intention. He ended up paying me anyway, which was nice of him. He didn't have to, of course. I've been stiff plenty of times, just at the end of the season for whatever. He paid me, which was nice, but I knew, it was bad or whatever. And he ended up leaving my first one-star review on Google. I believe, had 29 or 35 star. I think I got 35-star reviews now, which is great, but it's not always indicative. I mean, everybody knows if you look on Google and there's more than 20 or 30, 40, 50 5-star reviews, and they're all 5-star, either it's a bot making them or just nobody that they've upset has finally gotten on there and did it, and he's the first one to do it. Now, why I say it's good is I listen to Jocko Willink a lot, and one of the things when you come up against adversity or something bad happens, his answer is always good, and you have to learn from those problems and those mistakes. That's what I'm going to encourage you. If you're in a business, whatever you're doing, you might be going down a road and you might be overwhelmed and things are slipping and you're not quite doing that 100% that you want to do, or even up to your quality or whatever that might be. Sometimes you need something to check you. And I already kind of knew from this lawn before the one-star review that I was being checked. And anyway, I got it and saw it this morning, and there it was. Now today, of course, every single lawn that I cut, got everything as best I could. One lawn, it's fighting me with how it's cutting. We're going into fall, so the grass underneath is getting a little brown or whatever. So in spots, if you cut even a quarter inch, half an inch difference, you're going to have brown spots instead of the green spots. And that's irritating to me. The customer doesn't mind. They know, they understand. But I have that quality, and especially after this, I really wanted everything to look good, edged, mowed, blown off properly. And so I took the time and did everything today correctly. I'm happy with today. So that's where you have to sit back and go, what he was saying, what Jocko basically said, good. You take this one-star review, turn it into 10 5-star reviews. So hopefully I'll learn from that move on from this, and anything you can take when you have something bad, when a customer complains to you, you've got to check your ego. You've got to really look at the situation and say, hey, you know, they're upset about something. Some customers are just bad customers and you can't please them, and that's fine. But there's times you still, even from those customers, you can learn something to improve yourself, to make yourself better, and own those issues, own those problems, and don't let your ego get in the way. That's another thing Jocko talks about, is ego is terrible. And the times I've checked my ego, when I thought I did something right at a lawn and it wasn't, went back and fixed it, and the customer's happier even after. And now we built longer relationships because I went ahead and got rid of my ego for those, and it's improved. And others that I let my ego get in the way, I've lost them or upset them, might have put a bad taste in their mouth, even if I didn't get a 1-star review or something, or a 3-star. You know, you could just tell that the relationship wasn't there. And when you own a small business, you need those relationships. So my main message here is take anything that you've got. If somebody gives you a negative response, whether you're at work, hey, you work for an employer, for a big corporation, and they give you criticism, take it into, you might think you do everything, you might do everything, but wherever you slipped up, they're still catching you on, and maybe you need to improve there. And you need to kind of find out, sometimes we overdo good here and we're slacking here, where we could bring this down a little bit and this up a little bit to make everything right and everybody happy. And we never want to bring quality down, but there's only so much to go around. And that's leading to my other thing of, well, we'll have that on another video, but that's my main thing. I got my first 1-star review today. You know, I was almost excited about it because I needed the check. So it made me happy almost to see it. It was upsetting. My ego got there and it was like, oh man, your lawn's too thick. You need to be cut weekly, blah, blah, blah. That's all ego. And none of that matters. And I didn't communicate it, so there's my fault right there. Should have communicated what it needed. He could have decided, hey, I want it bi-weekly. I'll find somebody else to do it bi-weekly and be happy with it. Would have been great. Never would have got the bad review. We just would have went our separate ways, and we just weren't a good fit for each other, and that happens. But I didn't communicate, so this is what happens. But hey, you know, 1-star review, good, learn from it. It's almost re-energized me into making sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. We'll say that. And moving on to the next one, hey, you know, it makes me look more real on Google too, because like I said, you see 40 or 50 5-stars and no bad reviews. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. The thing is, you've got to learn from those mistakes and not dwell on them. But hey, y'all have a good one. Keep up the hard work. Do what you need to do. Roll Tide.